It is 12 minutes past 7, and next on the show this morning, a project which works to reduce social isolation in Sussex has received the backing of the award-winning Hollywood actor Jason Flemyng, the star of films like Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, also X-Men and Military Wives, has voiced a new special animation. It's all in aid of Community Transport Sussex's Travel Buddy service. We'll find out what that is in just a few moments. First, though, let's take a listen to the main man in action.
Hello, I'm Wilkins from the Travel Buddy scheme at Community Transport Sussex. We set up the scheme to empower those with a health condition to live as independently as possible in their community through flexible and personalised travel support. Whether it's to attend a regular social activity, a trip to the shops, or a walk in the park. Meet some of my friends. Here's Vernon. He lives on his own and finds it lonely sometimes. Other than trips to the hospital and doctors, he hasn't been out for quite a while. What would you like to do, Vernon? Have a visit to the seaside to look at the boats. That's right, you used to be in the Royal Navy. It's tricky to get to the beach without transport, though. Lucy lives with her 2 young children in a village that no longer has public transport. The last few years as a single parent have been difficult, impacting on her mental health. Lucy finds going out quite overwhelming, and her anxiety levels have increased since her children started school. She would love to get out to the shops, have a coffee with someone supportive and kind.
Well, let's speak now with Matt Roberts, Community Transport Sussex's CEO. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
Thanks for being with us. I'm well. And I mentioned a couple of moments ago, it's the start of the bank holiday weekend, and many of us will have plans. Actually, sometimes if you're feeling kind of lonely and isolated, the long bank holiday weekend can feel quite miserable.
We find that a lot. I mean, our members tell us that sometimes the weekends and holidays like Christmas, Easter, bank holidays can be fairly lonely because during the week, a lot of the most vulnerable people have got some support. Maybe have carers coming in, they've got family visiting, that sort of thing. But those without a wider support network can be very, very lonely when a lot of us are sort of out and having fun and taking for granted that we can go wherever we want to, whenever we want to.
Absolutely. Right. Well, let's talk about what you've been up to then. So we heard Wilkins, as he's called in that particular animation we heard a little moment or two ago. And Wilkins, because obviously we don't have the benefit of sight on this, is a talking rucksack.
That's right, yes. The wonderful guys at Silvertip Films who put the film together came up with the concept because we wanted something to be friendly. It wasn't, nobody didn't want anyone to feel that they were being lectured to. And we thought the rucksack was a symbol of getting out and about and being independent and that sort of thing. And Wilkins is the sort of curator of the video and introduces to all the characters who are being helped, but also their travel buddies who are helping them out.
That's an interesting point you make, though, isn't it? Because there's a fine line between giving advice and almost feeling like you're lecturing people on how they should live their life.
Yeah, well, the Travel Buddy scheme, like most of the services we provide at CT Sussex, came from intelligence we got and data we got from members of the community. During the pandemic, in particular, we found, as we came out of it, we found a number of people who were living independent lives previously were what you might call newly isolated. There were people, particularly older gentlemen that used to drive, and they were a bit nervous about getting out in their cars again. Older ladies and people with some reason that made it difficult for them to go out, whether that be anxiety, depression, the early stages of dementia, learning disabilities, mobility issues, were finding it very difficult to just re-engage with the things they did before. Maybe they went to Age UK, maybe they went to a local hairdresser to get their hair done once a fortnight, and they haven't been for maybe 3 years. And so we put together the programme basically based on that intelligence from our partners at places like Age UK and Carer Support West Sussex and Mind and the Alzheimer's Society and the social prescribers locally as well. We're telling us there were lots of people that needed to go out, and we thought we haven't got anything apart from, we've got our volunteer cars, we've got our dial-a-ride service, but actually what these people need isn't necessarily a journey in a car or a vehicle. It could just be an extra arm, either metaphorically or physically, to knock on the door and say, hey John, we're popping out today, aren't we? We're going down to the park to feed the ducks, or we're going to Age UK for you to have your lunch, or we're popping down the hairdressers. And we thought, well, wouldn't it be lovely if we could recruit some volunteers, match them with someone who in their local area or someone perhaps with similar interests, and just give them that extra little helping hand that helps them re-engage with something they did before, or go and do something new, and just give them the extra confidence to go out. And that's what the Travel Buddy scheme is all about.
Oh, I think it's a great idea. And of course, I mean, we can hear you've got a very nice speaking voice, but actually up pops Jason Flemyng, no less.
Well, that was lovely. I mean, to be honest, the guys in we've got a small development team, and Mary, who runs the marketing side of that, has some great contacts from work she's done before in the celebrity world. And so, Jason Flemyng doing the voiceover was lovely. And I have done things. We're working on another general film for our services, and I'm doing the voiceover bit for that because the staff do use me. My colleagues do use me as a bit of a resource for that sort of thing. But Jason being there, obviously that creates a bit of a buzz and some good publicity for us. And he was very, very generous and gave us a lovely quote to go alongside the work we've done. But the Travel Buddy scheme is also attracting attention from elsewhere. Dame Esther Ransom gave us a lovely quote. All the work she does for older people. Gave us a lovely quote with that, and also Sue Perkins has helped, has given us a quote. And when we launched Travel Buddies in Horsham, the actors Sue Jameson and James Bolan came along to that launch and were very generous with their support. And the wonderful Miriam Margulies gave us a quote, which we didn't have to edit, which was great, and has been very helpful. And indeed put the Travel Buddy animation on her social media yesterday. So it's lovely to get that traction because it does. It raises awareness, and when people see celebrities, for want of a better phrase, getting involved and saying this is a really good idea, it does increase your reach. And we exist, and although we're a community transport charity, we move people around. Our aim is the reduction of social isolation and loneliness. We just happen to do it by helping to get people to get where they want to go.
Excellent, and you're expanding as well.
Yes, we traditionally. I started working with a community transport charity called Bluebird Community Transport, doing 15 hours a week, saying I'd stay for 2 years to help them get on a firm financial footing. That was 16 years ago last month. And we've since then expanded, and we now have depots in Crawley, Horsham, Henfield, East Grinstead, Ada and Worthing. We work with a partner organisation, Arran Community Transport in Arran, and we've just opened a new depot in Chichester. And we're working on the rural north of Chichester to try and get some stuff up there, because there are very few bus services that people find convenient in the ruralities of Sussex. And that's okay. If you live in one of the towns, you live in Brighton or Crawley or even Burgess or Hayward Heath, you've probably got a very good bus service that you can use, and I'd encourage people to use their public bus services because it's much more sustainable than popping into our cars all the time. But also it's, in the ruralities, you might live in a village where there is no bus, or the bus is a 500-yard walk up a grass verge to the main trunk road, and you can't get there. So we try very hard to work with partner organisations, smaller community transport groups, volunteer car schemes all over the county, who do a wonderful job, and we try and link them together and encourage them to do more stuff, so that where we aren't strong in the county, we can help to reach as many people as possible. And the Travel Buddy scheme is one of those things, which is an extra string to our bow, as well as our minibuses and our volunteer cars and our the new electric vehicle car club, which we're going to be launching in the village of Henfield as a proof of concept, and hopefully we'll be rolling those out over the county as well. Good. How can people find out more? Well, if you want to have a look at the animation itself, you can just go, if you go onto YouTube and if you just search for Travel Buddy promo, or Travel Buddy video, or Travel Buddy promo video, it'll be the first thing that comes up, and that's lovely. And or you can you can have a look at our website, which is ctsussex.org.uk, and that's going to be relaunched soon. So it's got lots of information on it, but we're having that redone. Or you can give us a call on 01444 471 919. If it's after 12:30, as we're a charity, we haven't got the phone lines manned 24 hours a day. If it's after 12:30, you'll like to get the answer phone. But if you want any information about it at all, do give us a call or look on the website, have a look at the animation, search for us on Twitter or Facebook. You can even see, Mary's even got us on TikTok and Instagram now, and we actually get lots of engagement from younger people who think, "Oh, that'd be great for my mum or my nan," or whatever. So which is good. So yes, so there's lots of ways of getting it. If you basically go on the internet and search Community Transport Sussex, you'll find us probably. Okay, and last question. I mean, you mentioned you're going to do some of the voiceovers. Do you have the Hollywood credentials of Jason Flemyng, though? Not at all. I've got a lot of local amateur dramatics credentials. I mean, the wonderful Burgess Theatre Club pantomime most years.
Brilliant.
And I've done a little bit of radio voiceover work in the past. And, for my sins, I used to compare down at some of the nightclubs in Brighton in the 80s and 90s. So.
Oh gosh, you've got some stories to share for another day. Thank you so much. Lovely to speak to you, Matt. Have a good weekend.
Really lovely to speak to you, Mark. You too.
You take care now. Matt Roberts there, CEO of Community Transport in Sussex. 7:22 now.